Yes, 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 yes. OMG, y'all. It is like after 3 o'clock, and we are doing this thing. We are pushing this book out. Girl, get up and move. You are enough. This is a message. This is a worldwide message that people need to understand and resonate with, because you are enough. You are enough. You are enough. So, we're here all day for this, and we're going to be back tonight at 8 o'clock for the launch party. I've been bringing to you all amazing women all morning long, and I have a whole nother amazing, beautiful woman, Ms. Nicole Barnett. She is the bomb.com. She has a lot of things going on for herself, and so I am going to let Miss Nicole Barnett introduce herself. Hey, Nicole.
Hey, Renette. Oh my goodness. I am so excited about this book. There's so many just great nuggets that I know that people are going to get. So I'm so grateful for this space. My name is Nicole Barnett. I'm a meditation soundscape artist, empowerment coach, author, podcaster, who basically has just I'm dedicated to seeing my clients, people who are around me, just have sustainable transformation in their lives. I empower women of color, moms in particular, to become more aware of their self-limiting beliefs in order to show up holistically for their careers and for their families. I love creating meditation music and affirmations to help empower women to live their best lives. And it's just something I'm passionate about. I really find true inspiration from working with people and working with women of color specifically. So I'm excited for this book.
Yes, yes, me too. So I'm going to introduce myself for the umpteenth time. My name is Renette Upson-Bush. I'm the CEO and founder of the Next Level Nation and Next Level Chicks. And my mantra is to push women on purpose for the purpose of walking in their purpose and their destiny. That's one of the reasons why this book has happened, because I truly believe that women need to understand that they are enough. And my thing is, my mantra is to help women to get in alignment for their God-given assignment. We all have purpose. We all have destiny. And unless you work walking in it, you're not living the life you were purposed for. So I do that through speaking, through coaching, facilitating workshops, master classes, and books, and whatever else that's going to help people move to their next level, whether it's dancing. I can't sing, but I do that too. So anyways, I'm just all about purpose, all about going to your next level. So I'm so excited to have you here, Nicole. And as we dive in, I really wanted y'all to know, as we're in the space and place of talking about not being enough, can I tell you, Nicole really understands who she is and that she is totally enough. One of the things she said, her niche and her particular group that she works with are moms. Nicole herself, she's not a mother. I don't know if she plans on being one, but a lot of people who are in the space and place to say, well, I'm not a mom. I can't teach them nothing. I shouldn't be like whatever. And they would be so nervous about people questioning that. But Nicole truly understands who she is and who she is. And she steps up in that space and place boldly. And she's changing the lives of mothers, helping them to really walk in their space and place of confidence, helping them to love themselves, helping them to move forward in what it is they want to do. And so you have to know that you're enough in order to do something like that. So, Nicole, with that being said, tell us, where does all this enoughness came from? Did you always have it? Where did you get it from? Like, how did this happen?
Yeah, I love that question. So honestly and truly, like when I was growing up, I didn't feel like I had a voice. I didn't feel like I could fully like express myself. I didn't feel like what I had to say was important. And I was actually told that, at a point, what I had to say it wasn't important. It didn't matter. And so I definitely grew up with this, I shouldn't say anything. I shouldn't be out there. I shouldn't, I should just stay quiet, And so that really took a toll on me. And so that really shaped a lot of the way that I related to people, the way that I interacted with people. And so this is why I wanted to do this work, so that, you know, I could empower and help women to really think about their enoughness, think about their voice, think about their strength, think about their resilience, think about, and not even just to think about it, but to actually be actionable about what it is that they wanted to do for their lives, and be that encourager, be that support system for them. And that's why I really enjoy coaching, and it honestly fuels me. And I really feel like that it's so purposeful for my life. You know, even on the days when, you know, it happens, like when people don't feel that they're at their best, right? Being a coach really helps me to just feel like I know I have a place in this world. And through the women that I've coached, I know that that's true. Like, I know for a fact, because I've seen radical transformation with them. I've seen things really move and shift in their lives. And so I knew I was called for this purpose. And yeah, I'm excited about this work. I'm excited about what we're doing with this book, and empowering so many people to stand in their truth, and stand in their power, and know that they are enough. Just even by the title of the book, it's like, listen, you are enough. Like, let's go, you know. And so that's why I do this. This is honestly and truly like a blessing for me. And I can see myself doing this with anybody else, honestly, Barnett. I really couldn't. This is, yeah, I love this.
Yes. And so y'all could hear in her voice that she truly is walking in her purpose, and she's really, truly excited about it. And throughout the day, the theme of this day has been for so many women, all the women mostly on here said it. They were muzzled, they were shut down, they were told that they need to be quiet, they needed to be seen and not heard. And that includes me. And so, because we were stuck in that place, it made us feel like we didn't matter, like we didn't count, like we shouldn't be stepping up and saying things because we're bringing too much attention to ourselves. We're embarrassing, we're unnecessary. And so the fact that we were able to move past that and step up and really walk in our enoughness is amazing, because there's so many people that are still resonating with that same mindset, that they have to step back. They cannot be seen. They're just supposed to be in the background. They're not really supposed to be out there living their dream, wanting their life to be what they want it to be, wanting to make all the money, wanting to travel the world, wanting to have the husband, the children, all this stuff. And sometimes people make you feel like you're greedy or you want too much because you want to live the life you want to live. It's not about fitting in. It's about standing out. Mm-hmm. And when you fit in, people can't see you. People can't hear you. And that's what our parents kind of wanted us to do, fit in and get in. You weren't supposed to stand out. And they didn't mean anything wrong or bad, but they just didn't want you to be like ridiculed for being loud or rude or whatever. Mm-hmm. And so as you were a child and you were kind of muzzled and you felt like you were not enough, what was that moment that made you step out into the enoughness that you have today?
Yeah, I think it wasn't even like one particular moment. I think were a couple of different moments. I think, having conversations with my sister and, just being like, listen, this is something, because she's a doctor and she's an incredible person. Definitely having these moments of clarity, going to therapy, really being a person that I knew I wanted to work on me in terms of my own mentality. I was involved in different organizations. I was blessed to be a part of different organizations when I was around 18, 19, that really talked about empowerment. They were called Reflect and Strengthen. And there was a beautiful collection of women that were just amazing. And there's something really important about community. There's something really important about seeing people uplifting each other and celebrating each other. And I knew that was something that I really wanted to do. That was a space that I had to be a part of. And I'm so grateful that one of my old bosses like introduced me to that group. So it was a couple of moments where I was like, oh, okay, people are seeing me and saying, hey, check out this group or check out this thing. And it was just like a combination of moments where I was like, I really am so appreciative of people seeing me enough to say, there's places that you're going and I want to pour into you. So it was really a collection of people pouring into me and uplifting me in that community as I was in my like early 20s, late teens, when I had a lot of people supporting me. I still have people supporting me now. But I just, those were the moments, there's a couple of different other moments too, but it's really just about the circle that I had really poured into me. So, there were just so many moments.
Yes. And what I love that you said is really important. The communities. A lot of people don't understand the power of a community, the power of collaboration and connecting. Every woman that I had on here today, I only knew one before I started connecting and joining communities and collaborating. Nicole and I met on Clubhouse.
Yeah.
And I think I was doing a room about being enough when we first
yes.
And we connected instantly. She set up a strategy session and we went from there and we've been connected ever since. And so that sense of community, that sense of belonging and having women to support and help you to move forward and you all connect and collaborate, not compete, compare, contrast, and complain about each other and see the beauty of each other. We are more alike than different. And so when we realize that and we walk in that and we connect and we're able to mastermind and do the things that we do, it helps us to grow and be who God has called us to be. It helps us to really walk in our enough. And I am just so grateful and thankful for being in a space because for so long, as y'all heard me say earlier, I didn't like women. I knew because my mama told me don't trust them. Don't talk to them. Don't tell them nothing. And definitely don't let them around your husband. That's what she used to say. And so I just felt like when women came around me or they were asking certain questions or they were really nice, like LaToya and I talked about, it's like, okay, what do you really want? That was the question I wanted to ask them. What do you really want? What you trying to get?
Like an ulterior motive.
Yes. That's exactly what I thought it was because that's how I was taught. That they had ulterior motives and they were never about anything good. And I'm so glad that my mind has been opened. And that's what we want to help you all today. Because when you learn to change your mind, you change your life. We can't get stuck in traditions. And a lot of times, those traditions that we have grown up with, those things that we have learned have kept us stuck. Those experiences that we've had through childhood, through jobs, through relationships, through all of that, we get so stuck in what had happened, that we aren't able to move forward. And that what had happened has stopped us from really walking in our purpose and feeling like we are enough. Have you experienced that, Nicole, and felt like, oh my God, I was in this relationship and now I just feel like I'm not this, I'm not that. And when you got in that relationship, did you stay longer than you should have?
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. I would say, yeah, my first real relationship, I think, I was actually told that like, oh, he basically broke up with me because I wasn't smart enough. And he told me this. Yeah. And I stayed for a long time. And because I wanted to be wanted, right? I wanted to be in connection with somebody. And even if that meant degrading who I was in order to be in this, because, there was some kind of connection, right? But I think there was just a point where I just cried. Like, there was a point where I was like, I am worth more than this. I had a breakdown, and sometimes that's how it is, right?
You have to have a breakdown to get the breakthrough, you know. So that's what happened. And with that being said, that's because you are really big on self-love. A lot of her chapter, you know, it goes into that, and it was she's big on self-love, big on resilience. And so why or how does self-love play a part in being enough and loving yourself? Is that going to really keep you from being stuck in those relationships? So somebody telling you you're not smart enough, you're not good enough, but we sit in that. Why do we? Who are these people that we allow to just like take over, change, and transform our lives? Why does this happen?
I think that, and this is the importance of, like you said before, the community. This is the importance of having people around you that can pour into you. This is why it's important for affirmation. This is why it's important to really have those positive words. If you even think about the water experiment, right? Where there was 1 cup of water that a person, said all these negative things to. And there was another cup of water that said all these positive things to. And the water crystals, they formed differently. When you had the negative, water was just this deformed, kind of like not fully recognized crystals as it was in the positive water, right? And if we think about the importance and the power of positive thinking, the power of affirmation, the power of speaking life into yourself, the power of, just looking in the mirror and being proud of who you are. I know it's a journey. I know it can be challenging, but it's the process of it, and the speaking life into it can form the beautiful water crystals. Like we're in that water, because we're 70% water. Like we are water. So when we think about that positive energy, like what's it doing to us? What's it doing to our mindsets? It can make all the difference. And I think we stay in these relationships, in these situationships, whatever you want to call it, for way too long, because I think a lot of the times we don't know anything else. Sometimes we haven't been seen, we haven't been shown what it looks like to really to be kind to ourselves. Sometimes we get stuck in comparison or the looks of things. Hey, I want to be with somebody because it's that's the look. Like I want to have someone so I don't look like I'm alone, like and not wanting to be alone. And even if that means sacrificing my own voice, sacrificing my own thought process, or my own value, because I want this perfect image of this relationship. You know what I mean? So, I mean, there's various reasons why people stay in these relationships that aren't life affirming. But, with positive people like us, and what we're trying to do here, or what we are doing here, is helping people transform that, right? Transform their mindsets into those positive mindsets and moving forward so that they can live their full and exciting life,
Yes, I love it. And it's just so important, like you said, to recognize like who you are and not allow yourself to be torn down. And so many of the relationships that people get in, relationships, like you said, situationships, hot mess ships, whatever you want to call it. You know what I'm saying? You need to get off the ship.
Yes.
You need to get off the ship. So we have to choose to do something different. And like you said, we haven't been shown. We haven't been told. Most of the time when people are in a domestic violence relationship, it was the grandmama, it was the mama, it was this or that. So we have to get into a space and place of breaking generational curses. We have to get in a space and place of building these communities and being a part of these communities. So as you see examples, stories, messages, you know that that's not acceptable what you've been putting up with. You know that you are a piece of the master, because God is the master. God is your masterpiece because he made you. And so with that being said, you have to learn that you can't accept anything and everything. And so that's where communities come in. That's where the support comes in to help you to know and understand that you're enough. And so if we see these things, if we model these things, this is why we come on and we share about being enough. This is why we wrote this book, because we want people to know and understand that you deserve more and that you're worth more than what you're putting up with. You're worth more than what you're giving yourself. A lot of times when I find myself stuck in a place or stuck around toxic people, and a lot of that toxicity comes from family and friends. And because we're familiar with them and we're, oh, that's just my sister, that's how she is, or that's just my mama, that's whoever. And we just accept it and we let them continue to tear us down and eat us up and mop us up with the floor instead of standing in who we are. So I love the fact that we are around communities, and it's community that helped me to really start walking in my enoughness. I had to get around people because I always felt like I was a day late, a dollar short, never enough, never could be chosen, negative. Didn't like women, didn't like me. And so it was so important, and it was the communities and the uplifting and the building. And when I first, kept being approached by, it was actually some people at the church trying to get me to come to a success conference, and I was like, if they could come to me one more time with this foolishness, then they wanted my phone number and they wanted to call me. My mama told me I don't like women. I'm not talking to y'all. Like, what are you calling me for? And I always felt like, we talked about having ulterior motives, and I never wanted to trust them. But when I say, you know what, I'm going to do this, and then they better leave me alone. They better ask me again. And that's when my whole life changed. And so sometimes we have to put ourselves in a space and place of not being comfortable, of doing something different, of getting around people that we really don't know. The ladies that we are doing this book with, I didn't know anybody. Like when I first started this. And now we have bonded. We have so many big plans and things. That's what happens when you understand that you're enough. You can come together without thinking that it's competition or somebody trying to compete with you or compare or take your man or try to have what you have. You don't get caught up in that.
Right.
When you really understand that you're enough. And so that's why it is good to get around people. And you just have to make sure you get around the right people, right? Because Nicole and I, we stay on Clubhouse a little bit. And it's been a great community. And so we are pushing community. Nicole has a podcast community that is amazing. She has her coaching clients, and she does a lot of different things with community, just as I do. And like we said, that's how we met.
Yeah.
On Clubhouse, in the Clubhouse community. I'm also a managing director at the E-Women Network, a community of amazing businesswomen and entrepreneurs that's working together. And what I do know is that success does not happen alone.
Yeah.
And Nicole talks about how she has a support group. That support group means everything.
Yeah.
And it really helps you to move forward, right, Nicole?
Absolutely. I don't know where I would be without just my closest friends. Like, to be honest with you. I think that, especially because I have really long sustained friendships, relationships with these people, because, and I just love the fact that I have been able to sustain some really strong friendships since college. And, the fact that they're able to be open with me is really useful, and we can share like our biggest challenges and our wins, our the things that are the things that are challenging us, and the things that we need support with.
Yes.
So is all just makes all the difference. It really does.
It really does. So if you're listening to us and you're watching and this resonates with you, you need to make sure you get a book, because the stories in this book are amazing. But it's not just about stories. It's about yourself. It's about working on you. And I mean, Nicole has a whole bunch of work for you to do in her chapter. And most of the chapters have some work for you to do. Then we flip to the back of the book, and it's a whole bunch of exercises for you to do to work on you, to help you to really stand in your enoughness. So this is not just about, us selling a book. This is so much more than a book. Okay.
Yeah, it's a mission.
Yeah, it is a whole mission. It's a whole movement, baby.
Yes.
It's a whole movement to help women to get up and move so that they can go to the space and place where God has called them to be. So we're excited about it. And I'm glad that we, have been able to really talk about the self-love, the focus on the community, because community and the support. And there's so many women that don't have support. And so if you don't have support, you need to be looking into some of these groups. I have a support group, self development for next level women. It's support groups all throughout, and you find the one that resonates with you. Right now, the fact that I have been able to have these communities, that's how I can still do what I'm doing. That's how I'm still standing. Because when we started this book, everything went beautifully, but in the middle of this book, everything fell apart for me. My whole life just like fell apart. And I lost my dad. And in that process, the community, the authors right here, they didn't feel like, oh well, she got this going. No, they supported me. I have a strong support group in the Intentional Success Tribe with Deanna. I mean, and then I have my friends, my closest friends. I've had so much support. There's no way that I could be getting up doing the things that I'm doing. And I just lost my father a couple of months ago. Not only did I lose him, but I lost my grandson. And I was looking and like going through some things. It's been 13 people that have passed in the last 2.5 years that I've had relationships with, or they were my family. Yeah. And without the community, without the support, without the friends, y'all have been a huge part of helping me to get through and helping to continue this project.
Yeah.
So that's so important. And having people to stand by me, helping me to keep going. At the point where I was, it's through some of the situations sitting, I'm thinking like, Lord, I don't know how I'm gonna get past this. I'm gonna never speak again. I don't know how to find my voice. I feel like I lost it, but because I had some community, because I had support, I was able to keep going. I didn't say every day would be a good day, because we know every day won't be a good day. But what we do know is that we have a community, we can continue going, and success does not happen alone.
Right.
Yeah. So it happens like working together. And that's what we've done. I mean, we formed like such an amazing bond when we came together. And I mean, I wish that for everyone to have that support, because it's amazing, right, Nicole?
Yeah, absolutely. I think that what you've been able to what I will say is that I love the fact that that community is helping that healing process. And with community, you can let your hair down. You can allow yourself to be just the human you are. I think that when we release that cognitive load and are just able to rest in whatever it is that we're going through, that can help to bring the healing. And so I'm so grateful that the work is really transforming, is helping through the community. And so I think it's so important to have.
Yes. So listen, y'all, I want y'all, as you watching now or you watching the replay, make sure you get this book. Make sure you get this book. And the proceeds from the sales of this book today are going to help girls. We are sponsoring the Girls Day Out by one of our authors, which is a 501c3. And so you can buy some books for your friends, for some young girls that need to know that they're enough. And we want to put a book in every girl's hand who is in the Girls' Day Out. So we definitely are on a mission to change lives and help people walk in their enough. So we're really, really excited about it. We want you to be excited about it, because it's not about us. It's bigger than us. I mean, it's helped us, but it's so much more to help so many more people worldwide to understand that they are enough. Nicole, we got a party tonight, right?
Yes, absolutely.
I want to make sure y'all come on to the party at 8 o'clock, baby. We about to turn up, okay? We got what they call it, turnt.
Get lit.
We about to be lit, turnt. We about to party hardy. We about to do the thing. And I always like to say what Latoya says, down the clown. That's our favorite thing.
Down the clown. I like that.
Yes. So if y'all down to clown, y'all ready to party, y'all ready to get lit, living in truth, because we must live in our truth and really face that, we are enough and accept it. That's the truth.
Yeah.
We want to help everybody to walk in that truth. So I just am so excited. Nicole, I thank you so much for being a part of this project. I thank you so much for coming into my life. I love the fact that we've had a chance to collaborate and work on. We've done, I don't even more things than we can count. We've done so many things together. And we just met in what, September?
Yeah, like last year.
September. And look, it's not even September. And it's only what, March now. March.
Yeah.
And so this is the power of community and collaboration and what it can do for you. It really is. And so Nicole has been a real help in my life, a real support, and just amazing. And so I'm just so grateful and thankful, and the authors, and just for everybody that has been supportive. It's just been so great. And I didn't know this as a child. I did not.
Yeah.
And so to be at this space and place and really know this and receive it, it's just so heartwarming and heartfelt. And I'm just beyond humbled and grateful. So to be able to experience this is amazing. So yeah. So anyways, we are down to clown. We are ready to party.
Yes.
And we want y'all to come same space, place, or whatever. You just come on and bring you a drink. And we don't care what you got in the cup, okay? We about to toast it up and have us a good time. We're celebrating the book, but we're mainly celebrating women knowing and understanding that they are enough. Yes. So go with that. And I will talk to y'all later. All right.